Why social media is immensely connected with our lives? Is it really about communicating with people and being alive? Does it actually help the world to make things easier? From the beginning of mankind, communicating has been a basic need of human. A number of methods have been introduced and used to just communicate with people and carry information from one place to another. With the advancement of technology, the evolution of communication took different dimensions. By the end of the 19th century, people could easily communicate with another person whenever they wanted, irrespective of where they were. Was it enough? No, it wasn't. There was space in the technical innovations to do something more, bring people closer to each other. Feel the conversations with people even when they are not near around. This simply brought up the idea of social media networking, where the first social media website, 6 Degrees, was created in 1997. This platform allowed users to create personal user profiles and communicate with others. Then, with the interests and needs of people, other popular social media networks came to light with time. We cannot deny the fact that these social media networking platforms were introduced to benefit specific or non-specific group of people. The response and feedback of social media usage clearly decide their future moves. This deviates the purpose of social networking and starts affecting the lives of people. Are we in a stand to agree to this point? We cannot at once, because the possibility is high for us to be an unknown victim. So, let us come out of the social media mindset for now. Let us be neutral and observe how social media affects our mind and task every instant. How my next task would be if I do not use social media in between. Will it really have an impact? How were the communication and work efficiency of people before the introduction of social media? Obviously, there are many advantages of social media platforms. Facebook has been the tool for many revolutions and awareness campaigns. Facebook has catalyzed many businesses. People of different ages have gained a lot of useful knowledge through Facebook. WhatsApp has simplified many works. WhatsApp groups have eased many business conversations and decision making. Instagram has promoted many businesses and individuals. YouTube definitely has been a mentor for many students, has promoted many businesses and has set a career path for many people. This goes on. But we are not going to focus on this here. We are here to analyze social media from its adversary perspective. Not all the social media platforms used by everyone. The usage of a specific social media platform depends on its popularity in a particular region. The need and thought to use a social media platform depend on how far one's friends, relatives, colleagues, or any known people use specific social media. This actually can't be generalized. It can be any other minor reason to step into a social media platform. Why do school-age children need to use Facebook? School-age children from 6 to 12 ages are certainly not mature enough to use Facebook. Their mind is not trained enough to control the usage of social media to switch between other real tasks. There is high probability that they might get addicted to them. But obviously, there can be exceptions in a small percentage like everything else. Why do they attempt to use Facebook or Instagram? Most of the time, in the case of school-aged children, there are few who start using either Facebook or Instagram by getting to know about them through their siblings or elder people close to them. Then they constantly talk about it with their friends in school. This builds an inferiority complex among other children that they are not in the trend or they lack information around the world. This makes other children attempt to enter social media. Another main motive for these children to use social media is entertainment and gaming. Nowadays, most of the children have internet access at their home, so it's pretty easy for them to be updated on entertainment stuff, which is not really bad. But the problem comes when these lead to addiction in accessing and sharing stuff in social media. Can we say the most critical users of social media are teenagers and youths? Yes, Teenagers and youths aged 13 to 24 have the most important phase of their life, that is to start their career. They break most of their boundaries in this age period. Teens and youth spend most of their time on social media. They can be identified as the most matured users of social media as well, since they are very much aware of the technical aspects of the internet and social networking. They know well to utilize the usage to get benefited. This benefit can be either positive or negative. What they actually want is to keep themselves away from problems and stresses. The mode to achieve this can be in both negative and positive ways. Social media indeed helps them a lot in both ways. So they spend most of their time on it to keep their mind cheerful. This is the period of age where they need to think about their career, higher studies and earning potentials, which gives them constant stress. So they try to avoid these complexities from their mind by being in their self-created comfortable zone in social media platforms. Social media activities are mostly self-choices where users create a zone with the things they wish they should put into their minds at a specific mood so they can seek happiness through that when they feel low. This process is very common and they do not have a reason or chance to think about why they are doing it. But later, if they get a chance to recall their previous activities on social media, there is a high chance that they regret them or laugh at them. Activities performed in social media platforms are highly dependent on the user's instant mood and mindset. They may be happy and cheerful or in higher anger, stress or feeling low and worried at an instant and behave accordingly on social media. Then the very next moment they shift to another mindset with the circumstance. So probably they catch a different opinion when they look back their previous social media activities. Continuously behaving in this manner can lead them to high depression. Because there are people whom they want to be around with them always out there in social media networks. These activities reflect their behavior to those people who will be having different moods at that time. This exclusively complicates the relationship between people. You may ask, will there not be similar things happening while having direct conversations? Yes, do, but they are instantly argued and solved within the people who communicate. Unlike direct conversations, social media holds space for too much thinking and avoiding replies. This builds different complicated impressions between them, which is not healthy for their relationship. If they think that social media can keep them away from their problems and stress, then what's happening to their real world problems? Shouldn't they be attempted and solved without being avoided? Yes, they should be. That's how the world works. What will be the effect then? They will lose their time for approaching their problems. They will be behind in their lives. They will lose hope. This will lead to the utmost depression in the end unless they are undoubtedly aware of what they are doing and what they have done. Adults aged from 25 to 55 who are mostly stable in their life and career use social media for different purposes. They have less time in their life to allocate for their social media according to them. But they try to use them to be in constant touch with their friends, colleagues, relatives and other known people. They enjoy the moments of being in social media amidst their busy life schedules. They get daily news updates from social media. Social media does not affect them much like youths as they take it less seriously. Then what is their problem with social media? There can be occasions where a particular subject trending on social media may affect them hard. When they start digging more information on that subject deeper, there are chances they might lose their stability of mind. If one particular subject on social media created an effect on such a person, it can affect their family members and associate workers as well. On the other hand, since their access to social media is comparatively low and they do not have the time or interest to deeply analyze on a piece of information and find its accuracy, they start believing most of the things blindly shared in social media. This will impact on the way they guide their juniors. Are the elders really using social media? Yes, people above 55 years use social media on a lower scale. Mostly they have much leisure time and they learn social media from younger ones and start using to spend their time. They enjoy gaining useful information through social media. The issue with them is that they are not much aware of the technical aspects of social media. They do not know how to handle them carefully, and they do not care either. They do not consider much about the effects of sharing things. They do not worry about the results that can be caused by them. It's because they are not being guided properly to handle social media. Things they share on Facebook or WhatsApp groups can spoil their respect in the society in a very short time. Younger people have respect for them for different reasons, and it can be destroyed by their rare, weird attitudes shown in social media. They mingle with the conflict thoughts of younger generations and create problems which make the young people hate them. Younger ones do not wish to get advice from elders with their doubt elders' attitudes. Getting to see frequent posts by elders of extended family relatives on WhatsApp groups regularly reduces the desire for the younger ones to go, meet them and talk in person. Generally, most of the social media users are aware of the fact that the data posted or shared in a social media network is stored somewhere and is accessible by the authorities. But still, people post stuff before a deep thought, letting the privacy be a matter of less concern. Are we aware of the fact that we agree to the terms and conditions of social media platforms where they may use our personal data? Most of us agree to these terms and conditions without reading them. They have the access for the data we use in our social media platforms. Social media data is the raw data that can be obtained from the social media activities of the users. If they have access to our data, they can do whatever they want with it unless obligated by the law. Human data is an important matter in the business and political world. Human interests and needs define the process of almost all corporate companies. For example, if we consider a cosmetic product company, their target is to increase the sales of cosmetic products by promoting their products to the users. The type of interest people show in beautifying their face and body is the key data needed by these companies to improve their products, promote and sell them. These data can be easily collected from Facebook and Instagram activities. An organization can use social media data to conduct a political campaign. People's interests and behavior of other parties can be analyzed using social data. What if these social media companies sell their data for such organizations and corporate businesses? Are we in a stand to protect the privacy of our own data? Ever imagine how these social media companies earn a lot of money and run their businesses on a huge scale? As you all know, advertisements are the primary earning mode. Is there anything beyond that? There was a recent allegation that the political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica has harvested user data from millions of Facebook profiles without their approval for political advertising campaigns. These kinds of businesses of social media companies take place in various hidden levels. No ordinary user dares to question or investigate these issues since they do not reach up to their individual concerns. There are many such claims of social media companies giving access to their user data for other organizations and app developers in return of income. People do not worry about this even if they are aware these are happening around. Why? Simply, the value of their personal data has vanished among people because of social media usage. In fact, is there a value for human data at all? How the social media activities of users can do a large business? From the day-to-day activities on social media of a user, the mind pattern of that person can be easily analyzed. The attitudes of that person towards the current world trends can be observed. These collective observations of a group of users from a specific region can produce an informative result which helps a lot of corporate and political purposes. Undoubtedly, it's us the users should be mature enough on the subject to handle and control the usage of social media. The more we are established to decide when and why to use social media, we can experience the healthy track of social media usage. We should not let social media dominate our life and thoughts. Everything is not your cup of coffee every time. Not all the opinions of others will suit you at that time they were said. Our own opinions in our mind should not lose their values by others' random opinions that do not have values as ours. But in the case of social media, most of us miss the attempt to choose what we should let into our mind for that moment of time. Now can we come to a point that social media is not a big deal to handle if we approach it in the right way? As technology is something that people should be mature enough to handle and control it to get the benefit of it to ease the real world problems without itself being the reason for disaster in any form, technological establishments such as social media are the same. If I can say yes to this statement, then yes, I am leading ahead over social media.